This is my vlog for August 19th, 2008. I wanted to talk about basic budgeting. I'm a huge fan of budgeting my money. I've been doing it for 11 years now. Right after I graduated from college, my money was out of control. I always felt broke. One of my roommates at the time gave me a copy of Quicken 97 as a gift, and I put everything in it, and I started budgeting back then when my expenses were relatively really simple. And to this day I still use that program. I'm on to Quicken 2007, and it really makes a big difference. Now, for those people who don't budget, a lot of people have come to me and asked me to teach them how to budget because they're like, I feel out of control of my money, I never had up enough. And once you budget, it gives you a good picture of how much you do have, how much you can spend, and often after sitting down and really drawing a budget for yourself, the people realize, oh, I actually have more that I can safely go out and spend than I even thought I had. I sat down with my sister-in-law just recently when we went through her budget, and she was like, I really can go out and spend that much every week? And I'm like, yes you can. You're already saving a good amount, more than I'd even put in. So here is how I budget, and you can budget different ways. The basic idea is planning all your expenses so when they come up, you don't ever have any unexpected expenses. What I do is I take Quicken and I put in everything I'm going to spend. Everything. DMV fees, yearly gifts, Christmas gifts I'm going to give to my wife, to my kids, birthday gifts for everyone, our anniversary spending. If I'm going to spend for a gift in Valentine's, I put it in. I have a travel fund. I monthly give to charities. That's in there. Weekly I put gas in my car. I take out a cash allowance for myself. That's basically what I lived on. Every bill I put in. Now when I put in bills, what I do is I put them in the highest they're ever going to be. You have some bills that come in the same every month, like my modem bill comes in every month exactly the same. But my gas bill varies. In the winter it's really high, and in the summer, just for like 3 months there, it gets way up there, and especially 1 month, and then it comes back down. But I put it in its highest, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but my gas bill runs $150 there right in the dead of winter, because my family likes the house a lot warmer than I'd ever put it. I'd turn down the thermostat, frankly, and probably save myself half that. So I put in my gas bill, I schedule it for $150 in the month, and in the summer when it runs $30, it's like, okay, it says I have to pay $150, I pay my $30, and then I have all that extra cash which I can just go out and spend freely because I've already set aside my savings and set aside my money going into investment. One of the budgeting principles that I believe in that isn't one that necessarily I've heard a lot is basically the goal of your budget. When I do my budget in Quicken is to get my checking account balance as close to zero as I can possibly have it at all times. Why is there's no reason to have money sitting in your checking account. Move it to savings where you're saving it for emergencies, or put it in some kind of investment. I've been using prosper.com where I lend out money, or into an IRA where I can invest in stocks, although stocks are garbage right now, but so it's all sitting in a money market fund, but it's basically gaining interest, and it's for long term. Okay, this is for my retirement. Savings has a specific purpose. It's for those truly unplanned emergencies. My water heater blows up in my house. Okay, I have a savings for that. Or I just got in an accident. I had to pay my deductible. Oh, I can tap into my savings. A car breaks down outside of warranty, because I have warranties on all my cars. Okay, that's what that savings is for. Otherwise, I live off this cash every week. And so the 3 tools I use in Quicken, if you get yourself a copy of Quicken, after I put all my stuff in, there's basically, if you go into the calendar, which you open up through the cash flow menu, you look at the calendar, and there's an options, and you show snapshots, and it shows this little graph bar that kind of like goes along the window there, up and down, and you can look out in the future and see what the lowest point is. And really, if there's a low point, if you look out in the future and your bar is like constantly getting bigger and bigger, like you're building up more and more money after you've put in everything you plan to spend, then you need to plan to spend more, plan to save more. I don't know, join a membership to something. Heck, join Netflix. I don't know, do something more with your cash. Increase your lifestyle, or submit more to savings. The other thing I like to do is in the register, when you're in the scheduled tabs, it shows like lowest balance, and you can put it for any years. I put it out like 20 years. I'm like, what's the lowest balance? And that dollar values anything that's not planned. That's what I can go out and spend today. So right now in my Quicken it says around $60. If my gas bill comes in and my gas bill is $50, there's going to be 100. It's going to jump to 160, and that's that 160 that's sitting in my checkings that it's like, go out and spend me. You're already putting your money into savings and everything else. Now, other things I've found, here's just different friends I've helped budget. Some of them I've sat down and done a budget with, and it's come up where they're constantly going deeper and deeper into the negative, and they say, look, you've put everything in, you're going to have to give something up. Give up your cell phone, give up, drive less, spend less in cash a week, whatever, or make more money. And, you know, when people are, that's the nice pick. When people, it lets you know that, you know. If you're unwilling to live within your cash, you need to go out and make more cash. Other things that I've found are that it helps you make choices. Like recently I bought 2 new cars, and we're not setting anything, this is really bad, my poor son, but we're not setting anything aside for my son's college. So it's kind of like, okay, we have this cash, we have these older cars, do we want to use all this money and buy new cars, or do we want to, you know, set aside for our son's college education because he's already in high school? My wife and I talked about it, and we said, oh, let's buy new cars. But we made that choice actively. It wasn't blindsided us. It was like, okay, son, you're going to have to pay for your college because we got the new Honda Pilot out there. Sorry, we made a choice. But yeah, it's kind of like, you know, when my wife's like, oh, I really want this thing. It's like, okay, well, if we decide not to buy the children Christmas gifts and we skip our anniversary celebration and we cut back on our vacation, you can get cosmetic surgery, you know, and it's a choice. Is cosmetic surgery more important than these things? Or she was talking about quitting her job. Okay, if you quit your job, here's what we're going to give up. We're going to have to give up family vacation and reduce our Christmas and birthday spending to half, and you're going to have to live on a weekly allowance of about, you know, after groceries and car, about $30 a week. Do you want to quit your job? That's really what we're going to look at. And then you can make that choice. Yes, I want to quit my job, or no. Those, you know, the freedom of all that time isn't worth giving up going to Hawaii next year, which is what we're actually doing. And then once you're making those choices, that's where I find the freedom comes in. It's not like I don't feel ever blindsided by my bills. It's kind of like I can do anything I want, and I know I'm making a choice about it in the future. So budgeting, huge fan of it. I think you should do it. Quicken's a great tool. Like I said, there's 3 little things if you're getting into Quicken that are really important to use. One is get everything scheduled in your scheduled transactions. Then look at that snapshots below the calendar, and that'll really show you your cash flow for the future. Live within that. And then once you have that, also look at your lowest balance forecast, and don't spend more than that. You can go out and spend that safely. Other than that, that's my tips to budgeting. Thanks.